And we're talking about voids and walls and construction, and I got a couple little examples here I built. A little bit bigger and awkward. I'm tucked away in my little getaway, my uh, virus getaway mobile right now. But back to that in a minute. This is a wall section I drew up or I put together. And what it is, it's an example of if this were the floor and this was the ceiling, and that we would have voids. Now this, I can see in this video that there are the PowerPoints they got going on. It doesn't really go into balloon frame construction, but the old construction used to be where there was a big void right back here, and it'd go, if you had something under the floor, the fire could go right up, all the way up and into the attic, right behind you. You wouldn't even know. So that's a void. Every one of these are voids, and if they're not filled, then that fire can travel in between these voids. Just a point of interest on this, the insulation. Anybody that's messed with insulation in the past knows this stuff can be miserable to work with. It's real itchy. It really is horrible. This stuff right here, the new stuff, you could actually lay down and take a nap in it. This is made from sand. They actually make somehow, don't know how they do it. It's a all natural way of doing it. So it is a form of fiberglass, but what do you get when you heat sand and dirt up to mega heat? You end up with some kind of glass, but that's what this is, recycled sand of some kind. So that's pretty cool. Um, it's just a little point. Doesn't burn that well, and we can put a torch to it. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that on this video here. Put a torch to it and see what it really does. A couple little examples here. Another section of a wall. And what this is an example of, and again, this is particle, or this is wafer board. Okay, it's a 7/16" wafer board. This is an example of how we frame the house. Now, if the distance from here to here is less than 10 feet, we don't have to put a block in there. Anything over 10 foot gets a block so that that fire can't move back and forth in there. Also, the sheeting that we put on, the sheeting is what keeps the house straight. If you didn't have the sheeting, it'd rack back and forth this way and that way. So anytime we put the sheeting on, it comes good and solid. One more little demo thing we got here, and a point about this one here. I like this little demo because it actually shows something here that this is a little breakaway of a window. You've probably got one there on your PowerPoints here pretty quick, and it tells the different parts on it. But one of the neat things about this, I've wired it too to show where the wiring goes in the wall. Now, if you look down at the wall next to you, you're going to find outlets on the wall. They're 18 inches off the floor. For the electrical code, that's about where all that wiring is going to go. Okay, so what that means is if I'm going to breach a wall, I'm going to break that wall out to go through. If indeed there's no brick on the outside or anything, and I try to get through, I can guarantee I'm going to run into electrical at 18 inches off the ground. So you have to be able to slide under, cut it, or go over the top of it. Just something to know. Once you start getting into forcible entry, you got that blockage right there, and that's what the code sets that at.